all of a sudden, Christian Piles calls me, and he's live. Christian's with the grappling guys over at Flow. He's live, and he tells me when he sends me a text and it says, "Can you take a call?" I answer the call.
Hey, you're on the show now. Can you talk?
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I was just going to tell you, I answered on speaker, and you're on my show. So yeah, yes. I was just going to disclose that. Yes, I'm all ears, buddy.
So you know about our boy Gable not going to fight Craig.
Yes.
I'm sure you're aware. The Grappling Boys wanted me to call you and ask if you would consider stepping in and fighting Craig Jones.
Yeah, of course.
You would?
Of course. I destroyed Jon Jones. I'm the linear champion. I'm the one that ripped his toe off and threw it in the second row, in case you don't remember.
I remember. I keep bringing it up, Chael.
I'm better than Jon Jones. I sound better than Sean Combs, and I got bigger stones than John Holmes. Don't ever forget it, pal. Don't ever forget where you got it. I will be on an airplane. You tell Craig, was that what he was calling me for today? Was he calling me out? Was this a call out that he disguised as a friendly phone call?
Yes.
You tell Craig Jones. You tell Craig Jones, not only do I accept, but I'm pissed off about it.
All right.
And by the way, do you know what I would do to Gable Stevenson? Do you know what I would do to Gable Stevenson? This is a massive step up. The last time I saw Gable, I put him in a headlock and I gave him a noogie right after I signed a photograph for him. Goodbye, Turkey. I will see you at CGI. When Craig had called me earlier in the day and asked me for advice, that was his subtle way of challenging me. I did not get that. I missed it. So I said, well, of course I'll take on Craig. Now, I want to tell you guys the backstory. I go to Abu Dhabi in 2017. I had a very hard super fight. I've never got credit for it. Never. When I introduce myself or I read off my own resume, I will tell people Abu Dhabi super fight champion. And I've even had people laugh. I said, I'm not kidding. I am the reigning Abu Dhabi super fight champion. And to get that, I had Leo Vera in the finals, who's a 3-time finalist, 2-time gold medalist. I won. That's a big deal to me. And I won. And I was awarded. And so after I win the super fight at Abu Dhabi, this is 2017, we're in Finland. After I win the super fight, an opening comes up in the absolute. And it was Vinny's. Vinny had the spot and comes and grabs me and goes, hey, I'm pulling out. And he goes, come with me. When I go to the bracket room and I pull out, we're gonna put you in before anybody else can grab it. So we go do that. And I get a good draw. I get this 21-year-old kid from Australia, wears these long, colorful tights. His name is Craig Jones. Now, I knew him. He was doing Submission Underground. And by the way, he and Dylan Dennis and I had breakfast together that morning. We all met. And this guy, Craig Jones, doesn't know that he got put into the absolute because it's kind of a last-minute deal. It's just the way that they work. And I just saw him at the concessions, and he's at least one beer deep. So I walk to the mat, and he puts me in a submission that I don't know. I just won the Abu Dhabi super fight. It's my 3rd time in Abu Dhabi. I've won matches every time I've gone, but I just won a championship. He puts me in a submission that I simply don't know. He realizes that I don't know where I am. And you can get lost in positions. That's an expression in jiu-jitsu, but you can get lost when your body starts doing things you don't know where you're at. And there's a moment where you're trying to look at the puzzle and figure out how to solve it. Never good. You want to just be flowing and rolling with it, but this is the spot that I find myself in. So he lets that go and he goes right to another submission. I don't know where I'm at. It's a move that I haven't seen before. He then goes in and he lets it go. When he realizes that I'm in actual danger, he lets it go. And he rolls down to a heel hook. And I never even tapped. I said, Craig, stop. So it was 3 submissions in the course of a pretty short match. And at that time, when I was still doing MMA, a jiu-jitsu guy would have injured an MMA guy and then taken pride in it. And he didn't do it. But it didn't change the fact that it was a style that I had never seen. And as I became more familiar with it, like there was a number of solutions, even if in my own fantasy, but there was a number of solutions if I could go back to that moment And it was a very different game that Craig played. It's a very similar game to the one that Gordon plays. And it's very similar to where John Danaher has transitioned the whole sport. And I've had fantasies if I could go back, I could do better. I could isolate. I could shut this down. And I've even thought when Gable drew the match, hey, if Gable knows to do these things that I learned in my brief experience, he can really elongate the match. And all of a sudden my phone rings and it says, will you take on Craig Jones? So that's where we're at.